Hey man, say man, we're back with another video. Today I'm going to be breaking down the 2 trades I sent to my Discord that were W's. We love winning on Mondays. We always lower our risk on Mondays, but to end with the W is always the end goal. So let me show you guys real quick the 2 wins that I was able to send out to my Discord and take. One of them being gold that I actually took today because it was probably like the only in the beginning, probably like the only setup that I saw that was just completely valid to me as far as my particular strategy. And then I did take YM, which is US 30 on futures. I took a buy kind of like later in the day, probably like around the 10:30 time on my other accounts. So let me show you guys. I'm gonna pull up real quick trading view. Let me show you guys what I was looking at, why I end up taking these particular trades. Let's go to the daily. Again, same shit, different day when it comes to how I break down my charts. I go to the daily time frame. I got a little bit more on this particular chart just because I don't really trade gold like that, but I wanted to take the opportunity to make sure I knew exactly what I was looking at. So I kind of broke it down like from higher time frame, you know what I'm saying? So I have a lot of lines right here, but everything's pretty much the same as far as how I break it down. I mark off my previous day highs. Let me take some of this off, man. This is gonna confuse me a little bit. Let's take this out. All right, so I mark off my previous day high, my previous day low. We are on gold extremely bullish, and we just tapped into, like late last week, we tapped into this for daily fair value gap. So I knew that we're probably going to continue bullish at least up into these highs, and then whatever it did from there, you know what I'm saying, is what it did. But I knew we were going to continue bullish for the most part unless we came into some lower time frame fair value gaps that it probably wanted to hit, or unless we, you know what I'm saying, broke these and had some failures. But for the most part, bullish is what I was looking for, right? So I was looking at the 4 hour, and I'm seeing, you know what I'm saying, price made some higher highs, taking out these previous highs right here. But then I see that we tapped into a supply, right, or order block, whatever you want to call it. We tapped into that supply and we rejected kind of like heavy, rejected pretty fast. So I'm like, all right, if we get, and we didn't tap into a 4 hour order block that I knew price was probably going to head into. So let's say that again. We tapped into a 4 hour supply, and then we had a 4 hour order block right below that, right? So let me draw it out. 4 hour supply here, order block sitting here, still waiting to get tapped into. All right, so we're in this area right now, around that time that I get in. If I go down to I'm gonna go down to the 15 minute, just because nothing was really going on the 1 hour. Go down to the 15 minute and I see prices just like staying in this area, consolidating in this area for a long time until about that 8:45, 8:30 time, almost 9 o'clock time, where we usually get our setups. And I see this huge bearish engulfing candle that's displacing below this low here. Right now, remember I said ultimately I am bullish, right? So I want to be careful if I do take sales, but if it plays out the way I need it to play out, it becomes high probability because I know where price is trying to go. So I had this market structure shift on the 15 minute that end up leaving a 15 minute fair value gap I knew price wanted to touch. Now, did I know if price was going to completely come down to my area of interest? No, but I knew that price wanted to touch that area, come down and retest these lows that it originally wicked at, right, and then go back up. So that was my bias when it came to if we were going to, originally I wanted price to come down and take out this wick before going up, but that didn't happen. But luckily my 1 or 2 hit in that time. So the reason I got in was simply a smaller time frame confirmations. We got the displacement below. I saw that we tapped in. I didn't want to get in just yet because I needed more confirmation before I could just get in on this original tap. I always say that price always takes liquidity before it makes its move. So when I see these taps in this area, the first tap into the 15-minute, the next tap didn't quite hit that 5-minute, because this is a 5-minute right now. Didn't quite hit that 5-minute, so I knew price was gonna probably try to come back into that area. So I waited. Confirmation is key. Understanding what you need before you get into these trades is key based on your strategy, right? So if I'm going based off my strategy, I know what I'm looking for. I know I need some sell side or buy side liquidity, depending on if I'm buying or selling, to be taken before I take my trade. So I see all of this happening, and even if I wanted to get in right here, I didn't get my confirmation of this this bearish candle and then a break of that bearish candle, so I wasn't getting in anyway. And then I knew, okay, price still has a 5-minute fair value gap sitting up there that it probably wants to tap into, so I don't want to get got. If the sales are not in, I'd rather just wait for the 5-minute. Wait for the buys on the higher time frame, which it would have been this area right here had I waited. But I end up getting the confirmation after it tapped into that 5-minute just a little bit, but also taking out this liquidity sitting right here. I don't know if you can see it. This liquidity sitting here, right? It took that out and then gave me my push down that I wanted. Again, my original TP would have been a little bit more than a 2-to-1. This would have been a 3-to-1 risk reward, because I wanted to see if it was going to come down and take this low before heading up, but it didn't do that. It obviously stopped. I got my 1-to-2, right, which is beautiful. That's all I really need anyway. I got my 1-to-2 and we was out of there for the win. I risked pretty small on this one just because it's Monday. All I really need, I think I risked about 500, maybe a little bit more on this one, and then I got about 800 on my Top Step account, a little over $800 on my Top Step account. So I think I risked probably less than 500. But yeah, that was it. These are simple trades. Now if time was on my side and this particular setup happened when I wanted it to, as far as the buys, I probably would have took the buys. But in the time that I trade, the sell opportunity is what presented itself, so that's why I took it. This is gold. I don't really trade gold, but there was no other setups on CL. Like, this is all they did today. Like, there was nothing on CL for me to take. And then NG, like, it was just way too low for me. I was looking to take like a sell down, but it didn't give me any confirmations to get in. Like, it just kept dropping, so I didn't take anything on there. And also we are like extremely low right now, so I don't trust anything right here. Like, I need some sort of pullback before I get into NG. And then so that's why I took gold. Now on YM, because that's the second setup that I took, I ended up taking a quick buy just because it gave me like 3 confirmations, right? So, and it kind of happened kind of later in the day, so I only took a small position with this as well. But either way it go, it gave me 3 confirmations for the buy. If I go to the daily time frame, you could see that we are extremely bullish, right? We've exhausted in this area so far, but we've taken out some buy side liquidity. So price is gonna probably come down at some point. All I really wanted for my liking is for price to retrace down a little bit, give me some sort of pullback, and then continue buying. Now, because we are at all-time highs on US 30, I wasn't gonna hold these buys because I wasn't too sure if we were gonna continue up before making some sort of retracement down to kind of fill in these gaps that, since we've been just buying up for the past week or so. We've just been buying up. So my setup was kind of like, it was a 1 or 2, right? I always get 1 or 2, but I wasn't gonna hold to some highs if I didn't really need to, especially because we're so high. I don't really think that price is gonna go right back up in those areas. I kind of think we're gonna retrace. So on the daily for this breakdown, let me take some of this stuff off. I marked off my daily high and my daily low. On this daily, you can see we do not have a wick. So that was another reason why I was a little cautious about this, because I know price is going to eventually want to create a wick right here at some point. I don't know when, but at some point. Either way it go, I only can trade what I see at the moment. So bring this back up. I created my, take this off. If y'all can see it, I'm not gonna take this off, but if y'all can see it, I created my previous day high, my previous day low. I marked those off. I go to the 4 hour and I kind of just see, okay, what is price doing? Where could price potentially want to go? Right? We're making market structure shifts. We're taking out some liquidity on both the higher time frame. And then when we opened up on, let's go to the 15-minute, right when market opened around that 8:30 time, we just completely shot up, right? There was no pullback. There was no there was no liquidity taken on the sell side in order for us to get in. So I didn't initially see any potential buys until price came down into this area around that 10:30, 11 o'clock time. And usually I'm done about 11 o'clock, but it happened right before, like the touch happened right before it, so I was able to get in before my cutoff time. And as you can see, I marked off. The reason why I got into this is, like I said, we're extremely bullish. We took out some buy side liquidity. So for me to continue buying, I need some sell side liquidity to be taken out. So I see that we have this 1 hour fair value gap sitting right here. And then also liquidity sitting in that area. So to me, that was perfect area for me to buy on for short term, not long term, because we're already super high. So I'm not holding these like I would normally hold, you know what I mean, for the highs and the lows of structure. So I think I took it on the 5-minute. Yeah, I think I took this on a 5-minute just because I took this like right around this area here. After I seen this initial bullish closure and then a break of that's when I took it. But then I got into some drawdown again, and then eventually got that push up that I really wanted. And then I just targeted for a 1 or 2. Luckily in this area, if you guys see this, where we rarely have, if there's a point where price does not have a wick, 9 times out of 10 price is going to go back there to create that wick, right? So that's what I targeted, and it happened to be at that 1 or 2, so it was perfect for me to get out. Even if it wasn't at that 1 or 2, I probably would have still got out regardless, just because I know once we create that wick, at some point we're going to reverse, right? Now I didn't know if we was going to come all the way down or not, but I knew if we push up to this area and we do not and we hit this area where the price does not have a wick, I'm going to get out. And that was basically that the breakdown of the YM trade. It was, I don't know, today was pretty slow, but it's Monday, so what do you expect? I waited a long time for these setups to play out. This particular setup played out in about 30 minutes, and then gold played out about the same, about 30 minutes that it played out, that I was waiting for. But waiting for the actual setup took forever because I'm at the charts by like 7, and then I didn't get into the setup until 10 o'clock for this one, and then 10:30 for the other one. But yeah, that was the breakdown for these 2 trades. If you guys are wanting to get into the Discord, link is in the bio, strategy is in the bio. Let me say this because I know some people, you know what I'm saying, are trying to understand my strategy and how I do it. My strategy is based off a daily bias, right? Which means I might get in based off a 1 hour, 4 hour area interest. and then just take my entries off the 5 minute, 15 minute, right? That means that it won't play out fully, like my TP won't play out fully for maybe 30 minutes to an hour. So that's why I consider myself an intraday trader. Now, sometimes I am scalping things, right? Sometimes I'm not going to wait, just because depending on how price is moving, like where price is at, I may just scalp some things, and my strategy works for the scalp system too. Like it works for regardless of what time frame you're on, whether you're on a 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, hour, it doesn't matter how you trade. My strategy works. It's just you have to tweak it based off what you know and what works for your personality. So if you're on a 1 minute and all your entries are based off the 1 minute, and how you mark off your charts are based off the 1 minute, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? You can use the strategy for that. Tweak it the way you need to tweak it. You know what I'm saying? It works regardless. I just personally have a lot of patience to where I can wait for that 15-minute close, or I can wait for, you know what I'm saying, that 1 hour area to be hit before I take my buy or sell. So be mindful of that when you buy this strategy. You know what I'm saying? You do not have to go, you know what I'm saying, exactly, or use it exactly the way I do, but it's there for you to kind of tweak it for your own personality. Again, even my trading plan is for my personality. So whatever you do, however you like to trade, whatever works best for you, do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm only giving you a tool to kind of help you, or kind of to shorten your learning curve when it comes to your strategy and what you do on a day-to-day basis. Because when you get into the market, that should not change, right? How you mark up your charts and how you enter the charts should never change. Your strategy should never change, right? Now, obviously, there are going to be tweaks depending on how the market is working for the day. But every single day, you should be doing the same thing. Every single day, you should not be tweaking that part, right? That's what makes a strategy a strategy. That's what makes you be able to see if you have a win rate or not, if you do the same things over and over and over. And it gives you that profitability if you are hitting your marks the way you should, and if you have the right risk management. All right, so strategy in the description. Discord in the description. If you fucking with how I really, you know what I'm saying, explain this, if you messing with how I my breakdowns, make sure you tap in. All right, we always have some great energy in our Discord. Let me show you what we had today. A lot of people tapped in today, which I'm surprised about considering it's Monday, but we did have a lot of people tap in today for the trades. We did have people, you know what I'm saying, put in their profits. Let me show you the trade ideas that I sent out, so you know I'm not capped when I say this. Here's the gold sales I was waiting for that end up playing out. So I got that 2-to-1. Here's the US 30 buys that I was waiting for, and then I end up showing that 2-to-1 entry. So when I say I'm sending out these, and people are taking them. Even if people don't take them, you know what I'm saying, I'm sending them out for free. So make sure y'all tap in. We started off 2-0 today, so that's perfect for a Monday. It's perfect for the beginning of the week. We want to always, you know what I'm saying, end the week profitable, no matter if we win or lose. The goal is to be profitable, right? The goal is to get the payouts. The goal is to get your live accounts. The goal is to make money at the end of the day. That's what we're doing it for, to make the money, to have the freedom to do what we want. All right, y'all, before I'm done and I hop off the video, I want to leave you guys with a quote from Paul Kane. I think I ran across it on Instagram, but I want to leave you guys with this quote, all right? Especially if you're in that time where you're like in that transition where you're seeing profitability, you're trying to figure out what success means to you, right? Think about this, write it down if you need to. I'll drop it down in the comments after this if you guys want to, you know what I'm saying, just say it to yourself every day. But I personally have been saying it to myself since I've heard it. But it says, all right, to succeed, you have to overcome your fears, battle your own greed, conquer your own demons, become unsure, second guess everything you believe in, survive through the suffering to figure out the meaning, go hard until the moment you bring the cream in, you might lose sleep, but it's gonna feel like you dreaming. I don't know if you guys resonate with that, but I personally like it. Right? It's definitely something that I resonate with. It's definitely something that I will say to myself every day, because I am at that point where I'm starting to see some success, and I kind of gotta like not just humble myself, but just like ground myself as I go through this process to understand where I'm trying to go, where I'm trying to be, what success looks like to me. You know what I'm saying? So I will see you guys on the next video. I hope this helped. All right, peace.